Welcome back. With us now is Bill Jones, the Jones Law Firm. We're talking about frequently asked legal questions. So Bill, we've gone into the court structure and shown people as to how difficult this whole scenario is.
And hopefully we've given them some insight as to where they would go for their specific matter.
Yeah. So now on to the questions that we receive all the time.
Yeah.
One question I know that I get and you get a lot is, how do I find a competent attorney to handle X matter for me?
One of the questions we had is, you see so many TV commercials, billboard ads, whatever. How do you know who to hire? And I think there's a couple of really common sense things that you should do. You should check with the bar, the Tennessee Bar Association, or in the Tennessee Supreme Court. You can log on, check the website, make sure that the attorney you're thinking about hiring is in good standing.
Yeah, and that website's www.tnbpr.org.
I think. There's another great resource called avvo.com, avvo.com. I talk about them so much they should pay me, but that is unbiased reviews from clients. We can't edit it, we can't take stuff away, and it allows us to showcase our knowledge. We can answer questions, but you get real honest feedback.
Mm-hmm.
There's Google reviews, but lastly, talk to people. If you know that you're going to have a car wreck case, talk to somebody that's been in a car wreck and say, who did you hire? How was your experience? And if you get negative feedback, take that to heart. And when you're interviewing an attorney, ask them, like my friend said their phone calls weren't returned. How did your office address that? My friend says billing went this way. How does your office address that? So just use some common sense and do some research. This is not the time to get thrifty. You want to hire somebody that you can afford. You don't want to go broke. You don't want to hire a Ferrari if all you can afford is a Chevy.
Right.
But you need to get the best that you can.
Yeah, and then the other thing with that too is, just because you heard it in an advertisement doesn't make it true. Verify what they're saying.
Absolutely.
Especially if a guy's on an advertisement telling you to check into everybody else, but don't check into me.
Yeah, I mean, if there's some underhanded advertising schemes out there for attorneys. If they say, we only represent this gender, you might want to make sure that there's a person of that gender in the office.
Right. And speaking of some unscrupulous things, as far as another question that I got was non-compete agreements.
Sure.
I represent a lot of guys in the tech industry. We're seeing these overbroad agreements that people want you to sign just to sit down with them to discuss building their app. And the question there was, is this enforceable? Because this is going to keep me from doing the business that I've already been doing. And the question there with these non-compete agreements are they overbroad? Are they specifically tailored to protect that interest? And whether or not they're enforceable. And the important thing with those are, you don't just sign an agreement without reading through it, and really you can sit down with an attorney for a couple $100 in an hour, get them to read through that 1 or 2 page agreement, and they can tell you what the issues are with it.
But I know from experience and from dealing with it, I don't do a lot of employment law, but I know that we've got a lot of pharmaceutical companies in town, NuVasive, Medtronic, companies like that, and I know that they have a lot of non-compete agreements. So if I've got somebody that wants to go work at a company like that, and I know it's got a non-compete, they want to work there, but they don't want to sign it, what are their options?
Well, and sometimes that's the whole thing of getting an attorney to look at it to give you an opinion on whether or not they think it's enforceable, to know the problems with it. So this way you've got informed consent when you go in and you sign that. Just because you sign it doesn't mean that everything in there is enforceable. And you can always ask the different questions about it. But I'm being told we're out of time, so we got to wrap this up. So our time is up for this edition of Legalese. I'd like to thank our guest for taking time out of his busy schedule and being with us for sharing his thoughts and insights. If you'd like more information about Legalese or any other program on GHS TV, please refer to our website at www.ghstv.org. Thank you for joining us today, and be sure to join us next month for more discussion on legal topics. Until then, I'm Vince Perryman. Thank you for watching.